Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Miriam Dow, wife, mom of 4, real estate investor, and entrepreneur. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the guest that gave me a bad review and the nightmare guest from VRBO, the only guest I hosted from VRBO. So let's get right into it because she tried it. Thank you so much for watching. Let's subscribe to the channel right now because I don't understand why 80% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. Let's make it make sense. Make it make sense, please. Subscribe. Did you tap the red button? It's just right under the screen to the right. Yeah, it's under the screen to the right. You see it? Yeah, just click that real quick. Just click it real quick. Just tap that gently real quick. Or tap it aggressively real quick. Just tap it. All right, now that we've subscribed to the channel, so let's get right into it. My previous video, I let you guys know that I took my listing off of VRBO because they wasn't making it make sense. They was making it harder and I ain't got time for it. So this guest booked 4 days before they checked in. They booked, and one of the good things you want to look at is communication, right? So I have my listing set up where if you are out of state, because I'm really not messing with local guests trying to throw parties. So if you are out of state, you're over 21 and you have positive reviews associated with your account, nothing but positive reviews, you can instantly book. Because a lot of times it's a turn off when you can't instant book. Some people search properties by instant book. People are booking in the middle of the night. They don't want to wait to send you a request and wait for you to get back to them. So you do lose money if you don't do instant books. So if you have those qualifications there, at least you know the people that are booking are qualified, and you know most likely it's a higher chance of them respecting your property. So this guy booked, and when a guest is booking, the system asks them a question. Tell Miriam, you know, why are you, like, what brings you into town, right? And I usually will ask to, like, thank you for booking the hidden gem. What brings you into town? Who are you traveling with? Like, I screen my guests. I don't care. I screen all guests. So he puts one word, funeral. So I sent him a message once I saw it, and I didn't see this till like maybe a day or 2 days later. So once I saw it, I sent him a message. Thank you so much for booking the hidden gem, Edward. I'm so sorry to hear about, you know, you coming in town for a funeral. My condolences. Who will you be traveling with? Because he booked it for 5 people. Crickets. Homeboy sends me nothing. And then usually the day before, I'll send a message like, tomorrow your check-in is at 4 p.m. I'm looking forward to giving you a 5-star stay. Please let me know if you need anything. Crickets. The day he was supposed to come, he then sends me a message like, hey, because I sent him the code, because at that time I had my lockbox. I didn't have the keyless pad activated yet, so I had the lockbox. So I sent him the code to the door, and no, I think he messaged me first asking me for that. So he was like, hey, how do we get in the house? And I'm like, it's a contactless, you know, check-in, so you won't be meeting me, but I'm only a phone call away. But here's the code. It's on the railing, you know, to the right. I give them the descriptive location. I literally just copy and paste for each guest. So it's very descriptive. It tells you where it's at. And I have a bright light over, I wish I could take a picture, but I don't have a picture. A bright light that's getting charged by the sunlight, one of those LEDs, I think. And then at nighttime, my whole entrance is lit up. I was just there the other night in the evening, and it looks good. Every other house on my block is dark, so ain't no one gonna try to run up on you because you're gonna see them coming. And it's just good because I had the lockbox in the bottom. You gotta, you know, get down and whatever. So it's bright, you can get in and you're good. So I said, what time do you anticipate arrival? He's like, oh, we're gonna get in around 5. 10 p.m. comes around. I don't see these people because my ring sends me a notification anytime there's a person in front of the camera, so I don't see them. So I send them a message like, hey, what time do you anticipate arrival? Because I like to, you know, after they check in, I give them like 10-20 minutes, and I'm like, hey, how are their accommodations? Homeboy is late. So he doesn't respond. 10:50, I get a notification on my ring that, you know, he's at the door. So I turn on my camera, and from the get-go, they're complaining. They're like, they can't get in the door. They're like, oh, where is it? And the wife is like, oh, it's down here. So he goes in, he gets the key, he gets in the house. I send him a message, hey, how was check-in? Did you guys have a smooth check-in? Please let me know if you need anything. You know, I want to make sure you guys have a good stay. He does not respond. Morning comes around. Okay, hey, checkout is at 10 a.m. I hope you guys had a good night's sleep. Let me know if you need anything. No response. So then they check out at 10 o'clock. I see them leave on the camera like 9:30. Mind you, I see them in front of the house and they're taking pictures, and then my neighbor She's such a sweet lady. She's actually like a contractor, so sometimes I'll have her do stuff. But she also keeps an eye on the house because she knows that I'm doing Airbnb here. So she walks up to them, and in my head I'm like, yo, why is she talking to my guests? So she's asking them, do you guys work for the city? Because she knows like I'm having someone come over to my house to give me a complete survey, because she's actually going to be, you know, pushing my backyard fence back a little bit because I have more land back there, but I want to do a survey. A survey basically is like a detailed sketch of your property, so you see exactly where your property lines are, and I'm going to be pushing my backyard fence even back to be where it needs to be, because right now it's not accurate. So she knew that someone should be coming. So she sees them. She's like, you guys work for the city? And they're like, no, you know, we stayed here. We're a guest on VRBO. And she was like, oh. So then later on she called me for something. I was like, oh, I saw you talking to the guests. And she was like, oh yeah, they were a little like off. They were taking pictures as if they were investigators. I thought they worked for the city. So she said that. I didn't think nothing of it, right? They check out 9:30. So then I sent her a message again after they check out. I'm like, hey, I hope you guys had a great time. If you don't mind, please leave me a 5-star, you know, review. As you know, I'm a new guest. I'm a new host. So it's going to help me out a lot, and I'll do the same for you. I do this with everyone. So she doesn't respond. Then later, 5 p.m. comes around. They responded, and they're like basically complaining. They're like, oh, you know, there was a lot of issues with the house, and we don't really want to put this, you know, publicly, but there was a lot of issues with the house. So as I'm reading it, she was saying like there was not enough toilet tissue, and my cleaning lady sends me a video soon before she starts working, so I see how the previous guest left the house, and then she sends me a video after she's done, so I make sure everything is up to par. And she's opening cabinets, so I know for a fact there was 2 rolls of toilet tissue in each bathroom, one on the roll, one in the cabinet, one on the roll, one in the vanity, right? So she was like, there was no garbage bag in the living room, there was not enough toilet paper, and then she was complaining about a lot of stuff, right? So as I'm reading this, my heart is just breaking, because I'm a sincere person, and sometimes you automatically assume that people are just like you. I'm very honest. Like, even if I'm about to miss out on some money, I'd rather tell the truth than to, like, you know, scheme somebody out of money. That's just my characteristic. I'm just not that kind of person. So my heart is breaking as I'm reading this, right? As I'm reading it, a number calls me, and it's like, it doesn't show like VRBO Guest, it's just like the number, right? So I just pick, I'm like, hello? Because like I'm reading this message, and she's like, hi, is this Mary? And I'm like, yeah. She was like, oh, this is Edward's wife. We just checked out of your house. So I'm like, oh, okay, hi, I was actually just reading your messages. And she was like, yeah, the house needed a lot of attention. Some of the doors were not closed. You know, they were hanging off the hinges. So we didn't even use the bathroom. We were not even comfortable because it was 2 couples, right? And like another person, so it's 5 people. We were not comfortable, so we didn't even take a shower. And she was like, the only good thing is, you know, the beds were comfortable, so, you know, we slept well, but some of the floors was dirty, and there was no toilet tissue in the bathrooms, and there was no garbage bag, and you know, so she's just complaining. So I'm like, I'm listening, and then I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear this. You know, I got a descriptive video. I should never even said all that shit, but I was like, I got a video, and I know for a fact that there was toilet tissue there. And she was like, no, it wasn't enough. It was like half toilet tissue on the roll, and there was nothing to replenish it. In the back of my mind, I'm like, honey, miss, please, like, if you would have communicated with me out of the 20 million times that I sent you a message, you could have easily just like, hey, we need more toilet tissue. I have a whole stock because I get everything from Costco. So we know how Costco comes in bundles and bundles and bundles and bundles and stacks in the basement. And I have the key to the basement in the house that's hidden. I could have easily gave you access to the basement so you could go get you more toilet tissue, so you could go get you a trash bag. The only thing that was missing was a trash bag, right? So she was like, I have pictures to prove all of this. And then she keeps going on and on and on, and the whole time I'm just like being very, you know, because they're in town for a funeral. That's my mindset. They're probably not even in the best mood. And then I'm just like, well, I'm so sorry to hear that. Thank you so much for being honest. And she was like, you know, we don't really want you to put it on we didn't want to give you a bad review, but you know, we still have to be honest. So that's why we're giving you a call to see if you could rectify the situation. And then she was like, so yeah, we actually want a refund. She said, refund. When I tell you, New Jersey quickly left my soul and Harlem quickly came back. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, you want a refund. The accent quickly changed, honey. It went from, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. Oh, excuse me. what did you say out of everything you just complained about? I'm trying to figure out, you know, you said there was not enough toilet tissue, all this stuff. Out of everything you said, none of that rectifies or justifies you getting a refund. So can you please break it down for me? Because right now I don't understand. When I tell you that accent left real quick, that shit was like, get paid. And I'm like, refund? I'm like, and I didn't say all this on the phone, but I was saying that, I was like, well, you know, I did send you messages before. You didn't respond. I sent you messages during your stay. You never responded. And I sent you a message after. You only responded after when I asked for a 5-star review. So the toilet tissue situation could have been easily rectified because I have toilet tissue in the house. It's not my fault that you didn't communicate that with me. And in my house rules, I have something along the lines that says if there's an issue and you report an issue, then that means you're automatically giving me access to send someone to come and fix the issue. Like if there's a plumbing issue, because the reason why you have that wording in there is, you know, if they complain about something, because a lot of these people want to get refunds. So if they complain about something, you have it in there that you automatically, that gives me access to send a plumber or whoever to go and fix the problem. And if they deny that person access, all of this is documentation just in case along the lines in the future, if they want to get a refund, you could tell Airbnb, well, we tried to access the home, they denied us access. So then, you know, to fix the problem. So then Airbnb will then deny them getting a refund. So she saw that and she was like, well, you know, we saw that you could send someone, we got there really late, so we didn't want you. She kept complaining about the doors. I know when you push my doors, because they're all brand new doors, there you got to do an extra push on some of the doors. That's not all of them. I know the master bedroom is like that. I know the upstairs bathroom is like that. She was like, the doors wasn't closing. So, you know, we were uncomfortable taking a shower because there was no privacy. You know, it was more than one couple. So we didn't even use the bathroom. So I was like, the doors are fine. I had a guest that checked out the day before you. They didn't send anything about the doors. I have a video and pictures showing my doors are fine. When the cleaning lady went to that house and sent me a video, the doors were hanging off of the hinges. So it basically makes me, you know, believe that they tugged at the door. Maybe it was a little loose. That's probably why you had to shove it a little bit close. But they literally tugged it off of the door. So the shit was hanging just so they could get a picture. And she's like, I have pictures to prove all of this. So she sends me pictures with her sneaker on the floor and a little bit of dust next to her sneaker. For all I know, that could have came from your shoe. You could have stomped your foot, the little dust that came from your shoe, and took a picture. Your shoe is in the picture with your foot in it. Like, so that was one. Then I have a AC unit in the living room. She goes and takes a picture. I have adhesives on both sides. We all know AC unit, the two sides of the AC unit is like open, but I have adhesives on both sides. So no one has access to your property from outside. And then the way my living room is set up is like a few steps off of the ground floor, so you can't stand on the ground floor and directly have access to it. So the lady was dragging it. I got a Ring camera out the door. Anyone steps by my door, I get a notification someone's at your door, finagling, playing with your door. So it's like I got all types of systems in place. I have that bright ass light. She was like, it's dark, we couldn't even see the lockbox, why is it on the railing? Complaining for days. So once I made it very clear, I'm like, yeah, first off, if she was like, we didn't feel safe because the AC was in the, you know, like there, and it was the open window. And I'm like, now you dragging it. So then she took pictures of outside, and she was just like, coming in the house, you know, the construction. So I had a little sewer issue and I had someone fixing it. They had to dig a hole in the ground in front of my house, but it's literally to the right, and it was not interfering with getting there. The guy had the yellow tape around it. They could easily access in and out of the house, so it had nothing to do with here. So I told her, like, the construction going on outside, I have no control over, but one, I know for a fact because of my camera outside, you were not disturbed. You checked in at 10:50, 11 o'clock. You checked out 9:30. All of that, the time that you was in that house, there was no construction, so you was not disturbed at all. And you know, it's one thing if you would have checked in and was like, you know what, the house is dirty, we can't use the bathroom, we don't feel comfortable staying here, and you never would have stayed, no problem, I would have gave you your refund. Like, that's the type of person I am. You didn't use the services, although technically I could keep the funds, I will give you your refund. But that wasn't the case, honey. You ignored all my messages. You stayed. You dirtied all my sheets, so my cleaning lady had to go and do the laundry. She has to re-clean the house. You didn't take a shower. I feel like that's cap. She was just dragging it. And then what really pissed me off, she was like, you know what, I'm actually a host on VRBO too, and I have a beach property, and she's telling me where her beach property is, and your house is just really expensive. I think it charged them $285 for 5 people. How much that come out to? $285 divided by 5. That's like $50-something. Can you get a hotel room for $50? An entire house with brand new house with 2 bathrooms and a kitchen and a living room and a dining room and a patio and a backyard. Like, you got the whole house to yourself. You don't have to deal with checking in at the front desk and checkouts and all this other stuff. So I'm like, she's like, you know, it's really expensive. And I'm like, you knew the price when you booked it. We're not playing these games. You knew the price when you booked it. So there was 20 other people, and I had brought the price down to like 140 or something. So like on their thing, when I saw that they booked, I immediately fixed the prices on VRBO because I'm not using the app. So I like forgot what I put there. Whereas on Airbnb, I'm constantly changing the price, you know, making it high if there's a lot of bookings, making it lower if there's not that many bookings. I'd rather make some money than no money. So I'd rather fill up the dates, even if it's a lower profit, because at the end of the day, by the end of the 30 days, it adds up. So I didn't really make that big of a profit. Think about it. I listed the property on September 7th. They booked it for September 28th. So I was still under 30 days. So I was still trying to get people to just give me my little reviews and stuff like that, so before I could put the prices up. So this lady had a laundry list. I was like, so the end of the conversation took a turn. I mean, I kept it very respectful. I was listening to everything she had to say, and I'm like, listen, I can't tell you nothing about the price. It's 5 people. You guys paid $285. I didn't even get all of that because VRBO takes a little thing out of it. I think I got like $250 out of that. Paid my cleaning lady. Like, how much am I really making, miss? Like, I'm not refunding anything because you stayed, you used the services, you used the facilities, you used my electricity, you used my water, and it's not my fault that you didn't want to communicate with me about toilet tissue. She was like, we were tired, we didn't want someone to come into the house and you know, try to come fix the doors. No, I'm not going to do that. You guys checked in at 11 o'clock. Who am I sending at midnight to fix the door? Like, she was dragging it. She thought she could intimidate me because clearly she saw that I was a new host. I'm from Harlem, miss. Let's stop all of that shit right now. It's not happening. It's a dub. It's a dub. And then that's why I was getting annoyed when I wasn't getting my money, because I'm like, this was a problem guest and all this stuff. They taking all these. So she sends me all these pictures. And then, like, now that I have all my evidence, she was sending me pictures and text through the text message, and I wanted to keep it on the platform because if this ended up getting ugly, I wanted VRBO to have all of our messages. So I kept it on the platform. I'm like, you know what, to be completely honest with you, here's the video of how my house looked before you came. When you left, here's a picture of the door literally hanging off the hinges. So to be honest, it's not fair that I have to pay a handyman to come and fix this. Like, I should be charging you extra fees to get this door fixed because it looks like you yanked it off the door. And then the adhesive on the both sides of the AC, she literally peeled it just to take a picture to say, oh, windows open, not safe. It's the AC, honey. It's a unit AC. This picture is on the platform. You know, this is, I didn't put central air or anything. I don't misjudge and, you know, try to catfish anyone. So you see the picture in the window of the AC in the window. So she was dragging it and she thought she could intimidate me. And then I hear her husband in the back co-signing. I'm like, you're not getting a refund. If you need to leave a bad review, you know, I don't want you to lie. If that was your experience, please. Then another thing, she was like, it was 5 of us and you only had 4 coffee mugs. Okay, thank you for that. Noted. I bought coffee mugs the next day, put it in the house. But having 1 less coffee mug and you not having enough toilet tissue, there was 4 rolls of toilet tissue. How much toilet tissue do you need? I see like 10 days later, I immediately left like a review, 1 star each. And then I saw like 10 days later, they left me a review detailing, you know, oh, she didn't have enough toilet tissue. And she, you know, basically everything I just said. And I responded. So this was their review that they left me. They left me 2 stars. It says, the process to get in was unclear. The front door, which had a smart code door, was left unlocked into an area with the door that requires a key. We had to get back. They claimed the first door was unlocked. I saw them on the camera. So whatever. We had to go back out in the dark and find the lock. Yo. I'm gonna have my neighbor take a picture of the outside. There's nothing dark about it. We had to get back out in the dark and find the lock box for a key that was at the bottom of a fence rail outside. The coat rack in the foyer is a hazard for banging your head walking in. The entrance itself was treacherous with the construction site blocked off with caution tape. The area felt unsafe. Once inside, there was an off-putting odor. Guidebook says to clean all dishes and take out trash. Cap. It tells you where to throw the trash. It tells you to put all your trash, like empty out the fridge and put all your trash in the trash bag. It doesn't tell you where that you have to throw it, but it tells you where you can throw it. And then it doesn't say to wash the dishes. It says to load the dishwasher. That's what it says. He's lying. Like, how can you be in your 60s, 70s lying like that? Like, what? There's no can outside in the back or front to discard trash and no trash bags. Okay, she was accurate. It is set for 6 to 8 guests, but only have 4 mugs. Okay, accurate. Plates, bowls, lying. You dragging it. I got 4 bowls and plates in the cabinets in the kitchen. Then I have the dining table set with 4, you know, dinner plates and then 4 like smaller plates. You dragging it. We were a party of 5, only 3 waters in the refrigerator. She's dragging it. It was 4. And she goes, it was 4. And honey, it was complimentary. And she's lying. It was 4 in the refrigerator, but then I put 2 on the master bed, 1 in the middle room, and then 1 in the small bedroom. So how many waters is that? 4, 4. You got 8 waters. It's 5 of y'all. Stop dragging it. Damn. Only 3 and a handful of K-cups. You there for 1 night. How many K-cups you need? How many K-cups you need? It was enough for the 5 of y'all. And then I see them on the camera bringing in Dunkin' Donuts, dragging it. Beds were comfy. Full bath upstairs was difficult to navigate due to a vanity too big for the space, allowing only 15 inches or so wide to enter. There was no extra toilet paper in the downstairs. I'm reading it. It's not me. This lady can't spell. Errors. There was no extra toilet paper, and downstairs powder room had enough for 1 guest, and then it was empty. Floors were visibly dirty in the kitchen and dining room. Numerous doors were left laying in front of closets off the hinges, and several bedroom doors had stripped screws and was unconnected at the base. Bathroom and bedroom doors did not close properly. No privacy. This space needs a lot of attention. I have pictures to verify all this. Bet. Where's my message? So I said, I have a bright light placed above the front door which highlights the entire entrance, steps included, so it was not dark at all to get to the lockbox. When you booked this reservation, I sent you a message and got no response. I sent you the check-in instructions, including the location of the lockbox and the code to get in. I got no response from you. You messaged me after saying you will arrive at 6 p.m. I messaged you at 10 p.m. I got no response. You checked in 1 hour later at 11 p.m. I messaged you in the morning to ask you if you had a good night and if there is anything I can assist you with. I got no response. I messaged you after you checked out to ask how was your experience and to leave a review, and I got no response. Hours later, you messaged me with complaints. It is not my fault that you decided to ignore all of my messages. I could have easily provided you with more toilet paper that I have stocked in the home. If you would have communicated with me, I would have given you access to get it. You're there for 10 hours, but you managed to yank my master bedroom closet door off of the hinges. I have a video and pictures of the closet door before you gained access to the property, and after you left, the door was hanging off the hinges. You called me and tried to intimidate me into giving you a refund after you stayed the night and used the property. If it was dirty or you felt unsafe, I highly doubt you would have stayed. I have had nothing but 5-star reviews from other guests that I have hosted. You peeled back the adhesive on the sides of the living room air conditioner to take a picture saying the window is open and you do not feel safe. It is a window unit air conditioner and both sides are sealed. You have to walk up steps to gain access to the property, so the living room window is not on the ground floor. No one can access the home from the side of the air conditioner as it is closed off and sealed. I have no control over the construction going on outside of the home, but as I have a Ring camera outside, I do know that there was no construction done during the time you occupied the property, so you were never disturbed. You also have more than enough space to get in and out of the property. My neighbor walked up to you asking if you worked for the city because she saw you taking pictures of the home, and she said it looks like you were investigating. I admit to having 1 less coffee mug for you and your guests, but I do not think having 1 less coffee mug and not enough toilet paper is enough to ask for a full refund. There are more than enough plates and utensils for all 5 guests to use, as I have 4 plates on the dining table and an additional 4 in the kitchen cabinets. Also, each bathroom has toilet paper on the roll and 1 additional toilet paper in the bathroom vanity. That is 4 rolls of toilet paper. How much toilet paper do you need for 5 guests occupying the property in under 12 hours? If you are a host and you are reading this, do yourself a favor and do not host this guest. From the time they walked into your property, they will start taking pictures and find any small reason to complain and ask for a refund. I spoke to his wife on the phone, and then she started to complain about the price they paid. She said it was too expensive and that she has a beach house. Where was I at? Rental. This was so unprofessional, and I was honestly shocked at this behavior. This was my very first guest This was my first guest I hosted on the platform, and from the beginning to the end, they were a nightmare to host. They do not communicate with you at all and then give you a laundry list of complaints after they checked out and asked for a refund. As I mentioned on the phone, if you really did not feel safe, you could have brought that to my attention, and I would have refunded you if you decided not to stay. But to stay the night in the house, use all of the amenities, and then ask for a refund is very unprofessional and speaks to the character of this guest and his wife. I will never host them again, to say the least. I had to pay to get the doors fixed that they damaged, and they had the audacity to ask for a refund. I had a guest check in the very next day and got a 5-star review on another platform. Checkmate. So I nipped that in the butt real quick, and I realized that when you type in Airbnb in the comments, or if you're communicating with a guest, it literally like puts a line through it so the other person don't see what you said. So that's why I kept saying on another platform, another platform. Anyone with the brain knows what I'm talking about. They could just go look me up on Airbnb real fast and they see the ting got 5 stars. So that was my experience with that. And tell me if you had any nightmare guests on VRBO. But after all that, it left a bad taste in my mouth. And to think this was on September 28th, today's October 25th, I still didn't get paid out on this very reservation. It's like, what is really going on? Like, I don't know, but yeah, I got rid of them and I will never be hosting them again. And that's another thing that bugs me about VRBO. You know, like as soon as a guest checks out on Airbnb, it allows you to leave them star reviews and also a detailed description if you want to do that. This platform does not allow you to do that. VRBO, you can only respond to a review of a guest. So you gotta wait for them to leave the review and then you can respond. The only thing you could do is leave them stars. So I left them 1 star along the line. So that's why at the end of my message, I left a little message for hosts. I'm like, you know, because they could, if someone's booking, you could see all the reviews they left. So that would be my way to protecting other hosts. Don't book these people because they're going to try to do everything from the minute they walk in. They was there for all of 12 hours, had a laundry list. Y'all was at a whole funeral. Oh, there's not enough mugs, not enough dinner plates. Honey, you wasn't having dinner there. You came in at 11 p.m. and left at 9:30. Anyway, I'm done talking about her. So we good. We wavy. We booked and busy. Her little review did not mess up my business at all. So stay tuned for the next video, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. That video just got me hot. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.